Hi, I'm Debra K. Join me on the journey into well-being. My quest is the Natural Health Explorer. Together, we will uncover the secrets to living a high-energy and vibrant life. It's gonna be fun, so come on, won't you join me? So today's video blog is on staying healthy and happy while addressing food sensitivities. Happy is the key word. I was diagnosed with food sensitivities just about 2 years ago, and I remember sitting in the doctor's office and her telling me that I had a serious level of inflammation in my system and that most likely it was being caused by gluten, dairy, soy, corn, peanuts, and the list went on. And I was like, that sounds great, but how am I supposed to get rid of all that stuff? Because it's in everything. Well, over the past 2 years, not only have I gotten healthier, but I also feel like I'm happier because my body is happier. And I have found some great swaps that I can't wait to share with you. So let's jump in. First, dairy. Oh, I went vegetarian for a while, and when I gave up meat, something that moved in was dairy. I love cheese, milks, all sorts of stuff. Now, what I didn't know was that it was wreaking serious havoc on my system, and I notice it now that I am pretty much almost 100% off dairy. If I do ingest it, I can feel it up here in my nasal. I get all congested, my stomach bloats out, I don't feel good. So here's my best swaps. There are all sorts of non-dairy milks in the dairy aisle. There are coconut milks, almond milks. Now they're even making like chia and flaxseed milk. So just experiment with those and see which one's flavor that you like the best. And I always choose unsweetened. We have enough sugar in our diet. It's added into all sorts of stuff. So go with unsweetened and see what you think. A good creamy milk substitute that doesn't have soy or dairy is a light coconut milk. This is an organic version that I got at a health food store, and it's just kind of thicker and creamier, so if you want that density in your milk, try adding this to your other milk, or just use it on cereal or oatmeal by itself. I don't use creamer in my coffee, but they also make a coconut milk creamer. I know they have almond milk creamers, different things like that, so it all just depends on what you're sensitive to and what you're trying to avoid. You'll become expert at label reading. Now, I love sushi, so when I thought, how in the world am I going to eat sushi still and not have soy sauce? I couldn't even imagine it. When I was doing my full detox and was going off of all of those things, what I used primarily was coconut aminos. This product comes from the sap of the coconut tree. It's slightly sweeter, a little bit less salty than soy sauce, but put some wasabi in there and you are good to go. If you're okay with soy but not gluten, just be careful when you try soy sauce because mainstream soy sauce has gluten in it. So a good option is tamari, which is gluten-free. So just read the label. When I travel, getting to the airport can be a little chaotic. It's good. You pretty much enter into no man's land of non-healthy food choices. So I always try to go with some snacks so that I can make good choices. Because you know when you're sitting in that airplane, sure enough, they're going to come by and say pretzels, peanuts, and you can say, no thanks, I have pumpkin seeds. So this is a good substitute. You can buy it dehydrated like these are, or you can buy them roasted. Just check out and see what kind of oil they're roasted in so that you're not sensitive to that. A good travel bar is the Lara Bar brand. I've read so many of these labels, and this one is always pure. It's just fruits and nuts. So be careful if you are sensitive to nuts. Speaking of nuts, one of the things I used to love to have is to pop a piece of bread in the toaster, put some peanut butter on that when it popped out, let it get all melty, put some jelly on that. That was like nirvana. But as you know, most breads have gluten, eggs, dairy, and then of course I couldn't have the peanuts. So I scouted around, found some good gluten-free bread options, which you can find in the health food store and pretty much mainstream stores now. And my new go-to favorite is sunflower seed butter. They have crunchy and creamy versions, so it'll satisfy every palate. Another great swap for helping food sensitivities is, you know, a lot of us think that we're making a good choice when we order a salad, especially if we're in a restaurant. Now, often that's going to come with croutons, cheese crumbles, some sort of dressing that has who knows what in it. So it's always good to make your salads at home because they travel well, you can take them to work and know that you're making a good choice. So simply chop up the vegetables that you want, the greens, and then my secret weapon is add in some fresh herbs. So my personal favorites are mints and cilantros and basils. Combine all of those together or individually, and then simply add in flavored oils and vinegars. So this one happens to be toasted sesame oil. This is a pear-infused vinegar. There's plenty of choices out there to play with to have a really healthy and flavorful salad. And then lastly, who doesn't like to have a good pasta dish? And I thought for sure I wouldn't be eating pasta again, but check out the pasta aisle because now there are many gluten-free options. You do have to experiment with them to find the one with the texture that you like. But one of the ones I've learned to play with are, if you go to the Asian aisle, you can find rice and mung bean noodles. So this one happens to be a mung bean noodle. When you cook it, it gets clear, has a little bit different texture, but put some pasta sauce on that and you are good to go. Another great pasta alternative, and even healthier because it doesn't have any carbs or as many carbs as some of these choices, is to simply take a spaghetti squash, cut it in half, place it on your pan, roast it until a fork goes in it, scoop out those little tendril-like noodles inside the squash, put your pasta sauce on top of that, a little chicken Italian sausage, and you are ready to roll. So hopefully these swaps have been helpful. It can be intimidating when you first learn that you have food sensitivities, but the good news is there are plenty of alternatives out there for you.